You know what's a sucker to me? A sucker is a dude who pick who he fight with.
Right.
Like if you sit and you go, oh, I'm not going because this.
I won't fuck with him, but I fuck with this.
Yeah, I think I can take him.
Right.
You want to fight the you think you can beat.
Can't believe people play with people intelligence the way they play with people intelligence and intellect. You know, the way they do today. You know, people are telling lies for a living. You know what I mean? They actually lying to y'all for a living.
He didn't say nothing to whack. So when you come talking to me, I feel like you're very selective. This is exactly what I meant last week when I was talking about street is being...
Word on the street is J Prince might be pressing 50 Cent over the shots he took at Big Meech, warning him to chill out with that rat talk or else. But y'all already know 50 don't just sit back when somebody sends heat his way. And this time, and what's looking like J Prince might have barked up the wrong tree. This situation got layers, and J Prince's past ain't exactly working in his favor. His name stays tangled up in all kinds of shady business, extortion whispers, suspect dice games, and even folks out here saying him and his son had something to do with Takeoff's death. That means if 50 want to go full throttle and air out J Prince's skeletons, he got plenty to pull from. And now, 50 Dunn slid over to IG, seemingly clapping back at them rumored threats, just to remind folks exactly how he handles anyone trying to test him. But is J Prince really riding this hard for Big Meech? What exactly did he say to 50? And is he playing himself by coming for the pettiest man in hip-hop? Let's get into it. So if you were wondering, 50 Cent still got his foot pressed firmly on Big Meech's neck over them snitching claims. He ain't letting up, but he ain't the only one firing shots right now. Lately, Top 5 jumped online to drag the ex-Kingpin for sliding in his DMs. In a video, he straight up called Meech a rat and tagged 50, telling him, "Yo, 50 Cent, come get this fake 60-year-old Kingpin out my DMs before I crash out. Hashtag Big Screech."
This fucking rat thought he could DM me and tap in. Yo, 50 Cent, come get this fake 6-year-old Kingpin out of my fucking DMs. Should've worked a regular job like my father. Big Meech, Big Screech. Yo, Lil Meech, call me Lil.
And you already know, 50 wasted no time jumping on the chance to clown Meech some more. He reposted Top 5's video, adding his own spin to keep the trolling going. While most folks in the industry kept their heads down, trying not to get caught in 50's beef with Meech, J Prince went ahead and inserted himself when literally nobody asked. Some gossip pages just put out word that J Prince has been slick-talking on Instagram stories, shading 50 for supposedly using Big Meech's name for clout. It's like he just couldn't help but jump in, even though he wasn't in this from the start. Apparently, J Prince even posted, then real quick deleted, a message saying he created the BMF brand. But that's not even the whole story. Some insiders claim J Prince has been making some low-key power moves behind the curtain, allegedly sending out threats and trying to get his people to silence 50. But 50, he ain't flinching. He basically let it be known, try all you want, he ain't going nowhere. He even posted a clip from Training Day just to send a message that whatever heat they bring, he built for it. And in the caption, he kept it simple. Get the message. Now, fans out here are roasting J Prince, telling him to fall back, because if there's one person you don't want to be beefing with, it's 50 Cent, not when you got your own shady business hanging over your head. Now, if you don't already know about J Prince, he is the CEO and co-founder of Rap-A-Lot Records, one of the most legendary labels to ever come out of Houston. He calls himself the king of H-Town, moving like the whole city belongs to him. And there's this unwritten rule that when big-name rappers touch down in Houston, J Prince steps in like their unofficial bodyguard, making sure they move right.
Maybe we need to change the word for the youngsters. The checking in part, you know, is they seem to get hung up on that word checking in.
Yeah.
So if we could diversify that word and bring it up to a 2021 thing.
Right. What's the word, OG? What's the word?
Maybe we may want to tell them they need to get connected.
You
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe that's the proper word, connected, properly connected, or whatnot.
Yeah, they getting tripped up on the semantics.
yeah, they get stuck. I mean, right there, you stuck. So then you stuck on stupid, right?
Yeah.
You're stuck on stupid, and you're not using your powers or access to powers that you have. You're looking at it as a negative versus a positive. You know, we all know if you can tap into good people wherever you go.
Wherever, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a blessing, Rip.
Real talk.
Real talk.
Who want to have access to power and not use it?
But not everybody is buying into that whole protection talk, and the streets have been buzzing that Jay Prince and his son Jazz might really be running a full-blown extortion hustle. And if that wasn't shady enough, folks have been whispering heavily about the dice games they are hosting in Houston, where artists allegedly get set up so somebody else can eat off them. These rumors hit a fever pitch after Takeoff's tragic passing, but truth be told, Take wasn't even the first one to lose his life after one of Jazz Prince's infamous dice nights. Just a couple months before that, Chicago's own Duke the Jeweler hit big, walking away with $100K, but that win turned fatal. Before he could even make it to his car, he got robbed, ambushed, and shot down. So after Takeoff's situation, a lot of fans started pointing fingers at Quavo, saying he should have known better than to be around Jay Prince and his mob ties crew, especially after what happened to Duke just 2 months earlier. And with all the shady talk swirling around the Prince family, folks feel like Quavo should have kept his distance. Now, let's talk about the man accused of pulling the trigger, Patrick Xavier Clark. He just got officially indicted by a grand jury for Takeoff's murder. But even though it's been almost 3 years, the court still ain't set a trial date. And here's where it gets real sketchy. Literally a day after Clark got arrested, he magically came up with $1 million bond and walked free on house arrest. Then, fast forward to November 2023, and out of nowhere, the rules flipped. Clark was no longer on house arrest and didn't even have to wear an ankle monitor. All he had to do was stick to a 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. curfew. And that ain't even the craziest part. Court docs show that Clark got hit with strict no-contact orders. He can't reach out to no witnesses, no victims, not even Takeoff's family. And get this, he also can't speak to Jay Prince Jr. anyway. Now you already know fans side-eyeing this whole thing, because how do you go from lockdown to moving freely like that with just a curfew? The way this case keeps flipping and turning, and they still ain't set a trial date, it's looking like a real suspect. And here comes the latest twist. Patrick Xavier Clark standing 10 toes down on his innocence. His lawyer, Leticia Canonis Hollins, just told Rolling Stone that her client ain't the one who fired them shots that took Takeoff's life. But she ain't stopped there. She went straight for the investigators next, calling out the so-called evidence they trying to use against Clark. She says ballistics and video footage ain't lining up, and when this trial finally does kick off, she is ready to rip their whole case apart. It was not Patrick Clark, Canonis Hollins told Rolling Stone. He was in the same position that Takeoff was in. He was trying to get out of there alive as well. He didn't have anything to do with the argument that occurred. He just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time when people started firing weapons. Now, circling back to all them whispers about Jay Prince lining up rappers with them dice games, this ain't new talk. Plenty of folks in the industry have been speaking on it, and one of the loudest voices, Whack 100, he straight up put Jay Prince's son on blast, saying he runs a rigged dice game hustle on rappers whenever they touch down in Houston.
So I had a dude call me, right? And that Junior been having some going on down there in Houston, bro. We got the media team in here. So it's an inside month. Yeah. Now this month, he's the one that's tied to the dude that makes the loaded dice. Right? Check the play out. All entertainers, when you go to Houston, stay away from Jay Prince Jr. Didn't a whole play going on? Here go the play right here. The play is a loaded dice. Now I'm gonna talk about something. Let me see if y'all catch up with what I'm saying.
Whack 100 has been telling artists to steer clear of Jazz Prince's dice games, saying they are nothing but a straight-up finesse. He even hinted that Quavo and Takeoff might have gotten mixed up in some shady dealings, and that could have been the spark that set off the whole situation, leading to Takeoff's tragic death.
And watch this. And Little Cam are the loaded dice rotators, right? He said, what? There was a situation that occurred that a certain jeweler around and got past the dice on accident and was hitting on them for a couple hundred. They got irritated about that. I ain't gonna go too far into that story because, right? Boom. The only way they could get their money back was however their money back. He said, but Lil Cam Wolf and Big Caprice are the three designated to say I'm up, I got the next, and they pass the dice to each other, but they loaded, but they shooting against them up represent town, the entertainer, right? They say Jay Prince Jr., he get 30% of whatever the take is.
So when Jazz Prince got pressed about all these accusations, he shut it down fast and claimed he ain't even know Duke the Jeweler. He also swore up and down that his dice games had nothing to do with Duke or Takeoff losing their lives, brushing off all the talk as nothing but baseless rumors.
Can y'all elaborate on dice game when it's tied to y'all?
I know people were associating me with that Duke the Jeweler situation because I went to Labusi pool party and he happened to be there and he happened to be standing on me. I mean, right next to me. The truth is, I never met him before. I had no idea who he is. I didn't even know he was a jeweler until after his passing. And then the night of that game isn't the night that he got leaving Boosie concert the next night because somebody tried to rob him.
But the shady talk around Jay Prince and his business don't stop there. His name has been tied to extortion rumors for years, but only recently has he been making real headlines for it. Just look at what went down in July 2020 when NBA YoungBoy got hit with a robbery in Houston. Allegedly, Jay Prince's goons pulled up on YoungBoy's Airbnb, but they weren't just grabbing random stuff. Nah, they went straight for his icy chains and even snatched the keys to his $350,000 Bentley. And instead of keeping it low-key, these dudes actually had the nerve to post a video flexing, showing themselves breaking in and stunting with the stolen goods, including a white Bentley, a white Rolls Royce, and a white 2020 McLaren GT. But here's where it gets even more suspect. They ain't just taking YoungBoy's stuff for the thrill of it. They hit him with a $30,000 ransom demand to get it back, making folks believe this was just another one of Jay Prince's extortion moves. And to make it even wilder, Jay Prince himself jumped on Instagram, saying he had YoungBoy's chains and keys, even inviting him to come pick him up.
Almost go out while we was gone. I got a call, you know what I mean, because the little homie young boy place got broke into. People went in his place, disrespected different things, and I got a call about it. And the little homies that went into this place want to make that right because they understand that, you know what I mean, young boy family is okay with me. And as you can see, homie, to make a long story short, I got your keys to your Rolls Royce. I got your keys to your McLaren. You know, all that they took. And the homie, Shakur, what you got, homie?
You got your Rolls Royce umbrellas. You got your keys. You got a bunch of other shit, so get in contact with us, bro. Get your shit back, man.
All good. Waiting on you.
But YoungBoy wasn't going for any of that. He peeped the game and felt like Jay Prince was just trying to finesse him out of more money. He fired back, calling Jay Prince a shady dude who uses that whole checking in talk as a front to extort rappers whenever they pull up to Houston.
Hey, I don't want no friends. I don't want no new relationships. All that pussy, hey, I don't respect none of that shit, man. If you got something for me, man, they got plenty of niggas around me you could call. Man, nigga, it's plenty ways you could get in touch with me. Man, don't get on no internet and do nothing publicly. Don't do nothing dealing with no publicity, none of that pussy and shit. And I'm good on the keys, gangster. When you buy shit cash, two keys come with the car anyway. Mind your business.
But YoungBoy ain't the only one fed up with Jay Prince and his antics. Cameron and Mahe just threw some major shade his way too, calling him out for allegedly setting YoungBoy up and then standing by while his golden boy Drake got straight up humbled by Kendrick Lamar.
YoungBoy NBA umbrellas and his keys to his car. YoungBoy NBA told y'all niggas. This is what he said. This is what YoungBoy NBA said. Whack 100 was the most disrespect. Wild disrespect. I ain't even gonna repeat the shit 100 said. Mad disrespect. Drake is beefing with Kendrick Lamar as we speak. I have not heard, this is the first time Drake got into some shit, and I ain't hear you say shit to Kendrick Lamar now. Why do you think that you could tell us what we can and cannot say, man? Control your...
Now, Cam and Mag's beef with Jay Prince really popped off when he tried to strong-arm them into falling back on their criticism of New Jersey boxer Shakur Stevenson, who just so happens to be managed by him. Cam and Mag weren't rocking with how Stevenson handled his latest world title defense, and they made that loud and clear on their platform. But Jay Prince wasn't trying to hear any of that. He hit up Instagram with a slick little warning, telling them to fade all Stevenson's shots and take all bets. Jay Prince wrote numbers don't lie, haters do. Let the haters say that he's boring and nobody wants to watch him. Sorry to tell you, it's just a select few of you haters. As you can see, there's proof that he has the #1 ratings in any fight on ESPN this year and the top 3 ratings since 2022. And to all of you haters who want to escalate that hate outside of the ring, I'm Shakur's manager and I handle all his business outside of the ring. In other words, Cam and Mace, I will fade all his shots and take all bets. But even with the threats, Cam and Modsy weren't sweating it.
Another thing, when you're dealing with older people, they're the last to know that things have changed. We not your lord. Like the way you talking, I don't get what you mean. We're not your little niggas. Like for real, all that big homie stuff, that's for little niggas. Little niggas have big homies. We're not little niggas, so we don't even respect big homies. I know it doesn't, and for me, I never respected niggas in the streets. That's why I always got the problems I got. You would tell me, Mace, chill. No, chill for what? Who is this? That's how I feel listening to this, man. Like, I want to respect you, but I can't. And I'm going to tell you why. Because if I got a lord, like the dudes that raised me, if I was out of pocket, they would tell me I'm out of pocket. They wouldn't let me put them on a crash out mission. They would say, yo, Mace, listen. Around here, we don't send us to do nothing for us. We don't pay to handle our problems. You got to put in your own work around here, Lord, man. That's what you were supposed to tell them. You can't go out here and talk crazy and then send me on a mission.
Folks saying Jay Prince already got way too much dirt tied to his name to be out here picking a fight with 50, somebody who built his whole brand on exposing people. And if 50 decides to air Jay Prince out, oh, it's gonna get ugly. Let's just say he got plenty of material to work with. From them dice game whispers to them alleged extortion plays and everything in between. And knowing 50, he ain't just gonna expose Jay Prince. He might turn the whole thing into a movie. But what y'all think about Jay Prince jumping in this big Meech mess and allegedly sending threats to 50? Do you think he is playing himself or does he actually have a case? Drop your thoughts in the comments and don't miss this next video.